Good day everyone, this is day 13 of the 28-day challenge. Today what I'd like to do is just reminisce a little bit about some of the events that we've run in the past over many years that were very unique, that were special, and have made a lasting impact on a lot of people's lives. One of the events that we used to run was called the Cambridge Mingle and Mixer, and this was a very special event that we ran once a month, and it was held at an LGBTQ bar, and so that what it was is that we had the entire venue to our place. So we were able to allow people to be able to come in with collars, to be able to wear footwear. We played our own music kind of things. It had a large dance floor and a large stage as well. The staff there were very open, very friendly, and very supportive of what we were able to do while we were there as well. We were there just over 5 years, and besides the mingle and mixer, the fact that people could come in footwear, wear their collars, the fact that we didn't have to worry about servers, that when they came around to one of the tables that you had to stop talking about whatever you're talking about, but we could talk about anything. We had the PA system, so usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock we would do announcements, and we'd basically get up on stage and grab the mic and start talking about different workshops, play parties coming up, seminars, those kind of things. We did that on a regular basis. Also have a shout out as far as any happy birthdays, any new people coming out, make them feel welcome, anniversaries, all those kind of things. As well with Cambridge Mingle and Mixer, that we are in a unique position that and this doesn't happen at any other munch, but definitely not in Southern Ontario, is that because we had the venue to ourselves, we had a couple of collaring ceremonies that took place. We had another time where a slave was transferred, was sold from one house to another, and so we had a little bit of a ceremony concerning that. And we've also on other days on the weekends is that we would use the place to be able to run workshops, seminars. We've done seminars on similar to ones just off the top of my head. I know we did a breath play workshop, we did a CBT workshop, we did waterboarding workshop. We did a round table with the Waterloo Regional Police that came in talking about BDSM and the law. That was very special. We had a media workshop where the media came in, and we just basically sat down and shared as Gorians, as leather people, as kink people, kind of things about what we were about, and that was very positive as well. Got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of good print with that as well. We also, over the years, raised a lot of money. SOLA, which is the leathers organization that I belong to, is that we raised just over $10,000 for various causes, from women's shelter down in Hamilton to special causes like Movember, breast awareness, different things over the years. So that was very special as well. Had a lot of great people came out. One of the things that happened that was not planned, and it was meant to be, is that when we started out, we were averaging roughly every month between 20 and 40 people, and we started noticing that we were having swingers coming out regularly to our events, and wasn't that big of a deal. They were welcomed. They felt right at home. They felt welcome, the whole bit. But what had happened is that they'd gone out to other munches, and they weren't as received very openly. When they came out to our munch, they were welcomed with open arms, kind of things. And that they were great people. Gave a lot back as far as to the parties, to the different events, as far as coming out to the workshops, seminars, all those kind of things. And it was through them that we had contacts with a couple, a very special couple that had a place outside of Cambridge and it was on a compound. It was a multi-building compound out in the country that we were able to go and establish our Leather Traditions parties. Now, Leather Traditions parties was invitation only. We averaged usually between 30 and 40 people a month, kind of things. It was sex positive, a lot more of an edgier party. Had all these indoor buildings that had, you know, PlayStations everywhere, and then we had a fire pit as well outside that you can go and we always we had a fire going. Had a couple of fireplaces on the inside that during the wintertime we were always burning wood and keeping them going as well. So it was very grungy, a little bit dirty, but it gave you that sense that this was a raw, primal place. Everyone had great memories of the place. Everyone that showed up, that came out, is that they were a part of it. They felt like they had a sense of ownership in it. They're very protective of it, but more importantly is that they made it a very special party. Everyone was out there to have a good time, to fellowship, to socialize with one another, to support one another, and just to be able to enjoy a great evening of play and just raw primal sex. That was special. As well as that, with some of the things that we've also done over the years, we've run numerous workshops. I think that over the years we ran anywhere between 40 and 50 workshops, which was very special. I remember we had one gentleman who would come up from Toronto on a regular basis, Master Tony, and an expert in a lot of different ways. He used to be Mr. International Leatherman, kind of a thing. So he was had an international title holder in the leather community, and just a great guy. Consider him to be a brother. And he would share numerous different styles of play, talk a lot about the history, and we would share as Gorians, you know, a lot of our history. As well as for some of us that were part of the leather community, we were MDHL, which was male-dominated het leather kind of thing. So it was a little bit, you know, a little bit different than the gay leather community. You know, our origins started out different, but as far as the sense of having a brotherhood, the sense of unity, the sense of giving back to the community, the sense of standing on principles, what you believe, those things that we had in common. And when we would get together with other different leather communities, you know, we felt right at home. And when they came to visit us, they felt right at home with us as well. So that was very special. One of the things that really made every event that we had is the fact that we were exclusive. You know, with the parties, they were invitation only, so we vetted very heavily. As well with our parties is that we didn't need to have DMs. We didn't need to have dungeon monitors because we knew everyone else. Everyone, you know, we were supportive. Many of us basically grew up together, and so there was no need. Sometimes we would have a new person come out that would be invited out by a friend, and that would be the first comment, well, where are your DMs? Well, we don't have them. And they would have this sort of shocked look on their face, and we'd have to say, you know, this is a invitation only party. Everybody here, for the most part, is experienced players, and more importantly is that we're sex positive. So if you are at one of the other parties and you're playing and you have DMs that are standing around that are watching those kind of things, do you necessarily, that when things start to get heated up and you decide that, you know, that the slave that you're with, that you're playing on, is that you've got a fucker? You know, do you necessarily want a DM standing over your shoulder critiquing you while you're being intimate with your slave or with your master? Probably not, kind of thing. So that's why we didn't have DMs. We didn't have a need for it. We had numerous first responders on site that were at the party. We had several first aid kits around, that everyone knew exactly where they were and they knew who to go to if there was a situation that did come up that needs some medical attention, which was very rare at all, and usually just a band-aid or whatever. And then one of the other things that we were at the forefront is that we had several sharps containers. So if you were doing any kind of cutting or needle play or whatever, is that we had sharps containers that were available throughout the entire compound, kind of things. And we also gave out sharps containers to other play parties as a sign of support, because we had at one point we had about 20 of them that were given to us, that we promised that we would share them and hand them out to other parties, so that way they could safely get rid of their their biological hazardous waste kind of stuff, as far as needles and razors and all those kind of things. So that was a very special time as well. So anyhow, what made the parties and the munches special was the people that came out. They claimed ownership of it. They were very supportive of it. We raised a lot of money throughout the years for different causes, and everybody was there for everybody else. It was a close-knit, exclusive kind of community that we got together once a month for a mingle and mixer, and then usually that weekend on a Saturday we would hold a party, Leather Traditions party, and it was just a lot of great memories. People learned a lot through the seminars and workshops that we ran, both from a leather community perspective, also for those of us that were in the Gorian assembly, and also just for the average people that came out that were just normal kinksters that were sex positive. Very supportive, very welcoming. It was a warm, friendly place to be able to come to, and it was the people that came out and made it a part of their lives. That's what made it special. So just want to share some of those things with you. Again, this is day 13. Thank you for watching, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.